Hi, welcome back to Hawaii Turo. I don't know how you found me, but I'm glad you did. If you're wondering what is Turo, Turo is an app and a website where you can rent out your personal cars to strangers. I know it's crazy, but you can do that. I made this channel that will help you do that and help you maximize the amount of money that you can make and also understand the ever-changing rules and regulations about Turo. But I go over my tips, my tricks, and my stats every single week. And if you are a new host, I would say hit that subscribe button and watch my videos. It will help you out along your Turo journey. And also, if you want some one-on-one coaching, or if you just want to get some live questions to me, I answer them quickly. Basically, you just get a hold of me. You want to get a hold of me, then look in the description below and check out my Patreon. But yeah, so let's get into this video. So this video is going to be about leasing. Have you ever leased a car before? Do you understand what a lease is? Will you ever lease a car? I am going to answer those questions in this video. And also, I'm curious about you. Do you know what leasing is? So let me know in the comments below. Have you ever leased before? And do you know what a lease is? So I'm curious because I know that I didn't know when I first started leasing. I've leased 3 cars in my lifetime. The first time I leased a car is when I was an Uber driver. I had no idea what a lease was. And basically, short version of it, I basically got the car to 120,000 miles and I would have had to pay all of this money in extra mileage. It was 20 cents a mile. I ended up trading the car in and paying like $10,000 and it was insane. And if I can do it all over again, I would have not have done it like that. But yeah, leasing. Let's get back to what a lease is. So a dealership offers a lease to people who do want the financial burden of a car for 5 or 4 or 6 years. You give you this option that you can just lease a car. You could have 8,000 miles a year. You could have 10,000 miles a year, 15 or maybe 20,000 miles a year. So basically on these contracts, you're not really driving the car that much, right? But you get to have a new car. That's how that works. Leasing. After you've been doing this a while, you're going to find out how many miles people are putting on your cars. For me, it's about 20,000 miles. That's how the lease, and my lease is about 15,000 miles. So as you see how that is, it's still going to come out, it's going to be some left, right? It's going to be negative if you do it that route. But to do that, what I'm going to do is that you are going to have to raise the price eventually and basically take out whatever it is, 15, 20 cents a mile and put that into another account so you can be ready to pay back, the stuff. But if you're in a market where they're 30,000 miles a year, then don't even get into leasing. It's not going to be beneficial for you. It's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. As simple as that. But in everything that you do, there are advantages, there are disadvantages to doing it. So let's go over one of the biggest advantages of going the leasing route for your Turo business is that you will always have a new car, right? That's one of them. People love new cars, so right off the bat that your new car you're going to be number 1 on the marketplace, and people are going to be renting your car. You're going to get tons of great reviews. Your cars are probably not going to break down. You're going to have less issues. You're going to be staying in warranty basically the entire time you have the car. So any issue that saves you a ton of money. Also, you're not tying up your own cash with these cars because you're using your credit to get these cars. So and then you're going to have cash flow. Cash flow is going to be coming in, so you can get some more cars and do it some other way, or you can use the money to do other things. These are things that happen when you get a lease. That's advantages. Some of the disadvantages, one of the biggest disadvantages that stops a lot of people from doing leasing is the mileage. Mileage. That's the biggest thing. You can have 8,000 a year, 10,000 a year, 15,000 a year. And if you go over that, they're going to charge you 15 cents a mile, 20 cents a mile, whatever is in your contract. For me, it's usually about 15 cents. And I try, or I walk away. I get 15,000 miles a year for 3 years. That's what I have in my Nissan Sentra. That's what I have in my Chevy Trax, right? That's just what's going to happen. And also, another disadvantage is your DTI, your debit to income ratio. It's going to be high. So if you want to make a big purchase like a house or something, it's going to be a lot harder to do once you start getting a lot of leases on your credit report. It's going to be hard. And also, more like you're not going to be able to get these leases on your commercial credit. So this is basically going to be your personal credit. And another big one that stops a lot of people from doing it, and these leasing, these companies that allow you to lease, they don't want their cars used for commercial. I don't blame them. People drive, using the car for commercial. People are not driving the best anyway, but especially not rental cars. It's crazy. So that if they ever would find out that you were doing that, you run the chance of them taking the car back, which is, it's always a risk in life. There's a risk. That is the risk. As long as you understand the risk, do you understand what can happen? I think it'd be okay to make the right decision for you. Of a lease, I don't know if you've ever gotten this far, but if you have or you haven't, let me know in the comments below. But at the end of a lease, there's a whole other thing that you have to do. There's going to be 3 options for you. But before the 3 options, somebody's going to come and check out the car, and basically you're going to get charged for like everything that's not normal wear and tear on the car. Simple as that. They're going to check all on the car. They're going to do mechanical. They're going to check everything. So anything that's not wear and tear, you're going to get charged. So one of the options, that's where that stuff's going to come into play. So the first option you can do, you can trade the car in, right? You can trade the car in, get in a lease, or maybe get a finance, or you can buy the car. So when you sign a lease, they give you the residual amount, whatever the car is supposed to be worth after that certain amount of time they're supposed to have the lease. If that number is lower than what the car is worth, that is good. That's positive. So it makes sense, which I'm hoping for me, that Chevy Trax from right here, that Chevy Trax after 3 years, 36 months, it's supposed to be $13,000. So I think that it could be worth more than that. And that means I'm going to buy it cash. Just like my 2019 Nissan Sentra, I could put that there as well. After 3 years, which I'm like halfway through it, it's supposed to be worth like $11,000. And I think it's worth way more than that right now. So I believe yes. But you have to make that decision if you're going to do cash. If you were going to buy it. So the last thing is, the one the dealerships do not want you to do is just return the vehicle. See, when you do this route, you're going to get charged a whole bunch of fees. They're going to be, I don't even want to go through all the fees, because the point is they're going to have fees on top of the fees of that when that person comes out to check your car, because that's a whole different thing of fees. Just fees, fees, and fees. So that's basically going to more than likely be the most costly of the 3 options to take with these leases. I'm hoping if you've gotten this far, you got some great content and to help you out in your decision if you're going to lease. So I would say hit that subscribe button and hit that like button and get ready for next week.